So listen to that rain, it is tipping it down, and that brings me to this week's video. To cruise or not to cruise? That is the question. Generally speaking, we like to be in control of our own schedule, choosing when to cruise and when not to cruise. But sometimes things crop up that mean we have to get moving even though we don't particularly want to. We knew that we had to move today, and we'd already deferred it one day because Peter wasn't feeling that great. And if truth be told, neither was I was just a bit sluggish. So we woke up this morning thinking we have to move today. And what made us reach that conclusion? Well, when nature calls, you have to go. And if we don't move the boat today, then we are going to be stuck. We have 2 toilet cassettes on board and they are in need of emptying. So we have to do that ASAP, and that means today. So we are on the move today to do the cassettes at Saltersford Dock, Saltersford Marina. And when we woke up this morning, it was tipping it down. So this video was supposed to be about moving when you don't really want to because the rain is tipping it down. And of course, look at it now. It's not tipping it down, which is a good thing for us. And here's Frog in a Bucket. That only went through today. Now, Pip and Rob used to be on Frog in a Bucket, and they have done several vlogs about cruising in this lovely boat, and then they sold it on when they bought a house, and they bought their house through Escape to the Country, in fact. So there's a video about them on there, moving from Frog in a Bucket onto dry land, if you want to check it out. We are going ahead in this direction to Saltersford Arm, where we will empty our cassettes, fill up with water, have a chat to the people in the office, and then probably turn around and come back, or stay there for one night and come back tomorrow.
Might as well come back. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so we'll stay there for one night. Sorry. We won't stay there for one night. This is the man that's making fun of me right now. He says one thing and I say another to the camera. Yeah, okay. We are not staying overnight. We did that last time. It was very nice, but we are turning around and coming back today. So this journey shouldn't take us very long. A few hours there, a few hours back. So let's hope this dry weather continues and we don't get caught in any rain. I've even put on my over trousers for the rain, but we may not need them. You despair of me sometimes, don't you?
You can see all the puddles on the towpath.
That's true. Proof positive. It's been pouring with rain overnight and this morning, and there's puddles on the towpath. came round this bend a couple of weeks ago. I said to Peter, "Aren't you going to blow your horn?" He said, "No, right." And then he did in the end. There was nothing coming the other way. So I didn't suggest it this time. And there's nothing coming the other way. Now, as you can see by the sign there, Tesco, McDonald's. It's quite near the canal, so boaters that want to do their shopping can moor up and just walk in. Last time we cruised past here, they were doing this work of putting in fresh Armco. They've now blocked the towpath further back, just behind us. Oh, and the lock's coming up. But there were huge gaps between the Armco and places behind, but they've now reinforced it with the pipes to the old Armco that you can see. And they'll probably fill in the gaps after that. So that's what the pipework is that I keep walking over every time I go down a towpath. I now know what it is. It's the attachment for the Armco. Interesting to see it in this stage. And it stretches all the way down to there. And the lock is there, so I need to go and get ready to do the lock. Well, I've just done the first of 2 locks while we're on our water and Elsan run to Saltersford Dock. Peter's in the lock already. That's the spike going up from the mechanism. They're hard, so I'm a bit out of breath. I've got one more lock to do, then we pull into Saltersford, do Elsan, water and anything else we need, and then we turn around. As we come out, we'll turn around and then go all the way back again. So I've got these same 2 locks to do on the way back to Leamington.
Going backwards, I could see around down there nice and easily.
So Peter's just reversed out of the Saltersford Canal Centre arm and we're heading that way again. Well, the heavens have opened, but we've been very lucky because we've dumped the Elsan and the water, and this is what it's like. Those ones did not want to move. This is the Maple, the day boat that we passed at this bridge earlier in the day. So, whether or no weather, we had to get up and do that. It was tipping it down earlier. So we deferred doing that. We delayed doing it for a little bit, about maybe an hour. And in that hour, the rain stopped and it was looking hopeful. So we thought, right, now's the time to do it. So we got moving. The skies were still grey, but it was dry at least, or just spitting a bit. Oh my, I can hear thunder. There's blue skies ahead of me and I can hear thunder. So we decided to get moving, and we did the run from Leamington to Saltersford Arm to do the Elsan. When you're on a canal, there are points called Elsan points, and these are managed by the Canal and River Trust. So when you're cruising continuously, you generally pass some of these. They're marked in the Nicholson's Guide that we use as maps, so you can plan when to stop and empty toilet cassettes, fill up with water, get rid of your rubbish, that sort of thing. But where we're moored up in Leamington, there is just one Elsan point behind us, which means going back through 3 locks, and there is an Elsan point ahead of us in a marina, and that means going through 2 locks, so you can tell which one we're going through. Another reason for moving when you don't particularly want to is if you've got an appointment. If you have a deadline, a time deadline where you have to be somewhere for a specific time or date. And that has happened to us in recent years. We don't like it because it puts such a lot of pressure on Peter to move the boat, and I've not always been with him to help him. But it's something that happens periodically and we just have to deal with it. We've got a deadline coming up, and that is Peter's next dental appointment that he found out about this week. Now, this is one of the things that's stopping us moving as and when we want. We're close to a station when we're at Leamington, and it's easy to get on the train and go to the Stone, which is where his dental appointment is, or for me to get on the train and go home, which is what I'm doing tomorrow. So those are just a couple of reasons why you have to move the boat regardless of the weather. And it's just one of those things. It's narrowboat life, I guess. So when we think about narrowboat cruising, it's not just things that stop us moving, but it's also when you have to move and you don't particularly want to. I wonder whether anyone else, if you're on a narrowboat, do you experience the same things as we do, the same frustrations to move or not to move? Well, we have moved today. We were very lucky with the weather, and Peter just got caught in the rain on the way back. The sun has now come out and we're heading back into Leamington. Hopefully our mooring is still there, and then we can have a rest. You wouldn't believe that this is what it's like after all that heavy rain that we just had. So this is us returning to Leamington, which is where we set off from this morning. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that the canal is a dustbin, and there are a lot of bottles, cans and rubbish in the canal. It's not very nice for the wildlife, and it's not very nice for boaters either. That's the boat that we left this morning, called Silver. And there's another boat behind that pulled in yesterday. And we left from the point in front of them. Is it free or is it not? Let's see what it's like. That was Silver. And there's Jungle Land. That moored up to where we were. And this boat at the end is a new one, where we were moored earlier today. So I look forward to putting out a video for you next week, and until then, bye.